Think education, think Raisoni. Raisoni Group of Institutions is one of the largest and premier education conglomerates of India, with over 40 world-class campuses spread across the country. Impressive campuses, great infrastructure, high academic excellence, latest technologies and state-of-the-art laboratories, impeccable placement records in the world's best corporations, high-standard research facilities, incubation center for entrepreneurship. These are the trademarks of the Raisoni Group of Institutions. Our 25,000 students are constantly exposed to the corporate world and gain international exposure across the globe. Raisoni provides education in engineering, management and 75 different academic programs under just one umbrella. Conquer the corporate world and achieve your aspirations. Acquire the key to professional success. Train for life. Raisoni is the best investment you can make for your future and the future of your child. Raisoni, a vision beyond.
In 3 words, I can sum up everything I have learned about life. It goes on, and a good beginning makes a very good end.
Distinguished guests, respected members of the bar, all invited guests, teachers, participants, and my dear friends.
I, Rahul Kishnani, along with my colleague Shefali Gangwani, students of GH Raisoni Law School, wish you all a very good evening. Namaskar and Adab.
GH Raisoni Law School is one of the most prestigious and successful law colleges of Central India. GH Raisoni Law School is a center for quality law education, enabling students to explore their potential and live their dreams.
Thus, aspiring to achieve excellence in this field and to create quality law students, GH Raisoni Law School organizes National Moot Court Competition every year, thus giving law students a national platform to search, explore and enhance their talent and shape themselves for this noble profession.
Shun, the National Moot Court Festival organized by GH Raisoni Law School, which is the brainchild of our college students and teachers, has signed huge recognition and appreciation among the various law colleges across the country. Along with the principal moot court competition, this year we also conducted a legal quiz competition and a personality contest for all the participants.
After all this admirable and constructive show, it is a great pleasure for us to welcome you all for the valedictory function of SHUN, the National Moot Court Festival 2014.
Today, we are all blessed with the presence of various dignitaries in the field of law and education. Their presence here is indeed valuable. On behalf of all assembled here, I extend my heartfelt welcome to our dignitaries.
Therefore, I request our Principal Sir, Dr. J. L. Aprajit, to welcome our today's Chief Guest, Judge, Bombay High Court, Nagpur Bench, Honorable Shri Justice M. L. Tehalyani, with a SHUN memento and a floral bouquet.
I again request our Principal Sir to welcome the guest of honor of our today's function, former Judge of Bombay High Court, Honorable Shri Justice S. R. Dongaonkar, with a SHUN memento and a floral. To welcome welcome the guest of honor of our today's function, former Judge of Bombay High Court, Honorable Chief Justice S.R. Dongaonkar, with a shine memento and a floral bouquet.
Request Anita Pawar ma'am to please come forward and welcome our principal sir, Dr. J.L. Apradhan. Thank you.
Dr. J.L. Apradhan. He is a man of words and dignity, disciplined and authoritative, with a selfless dedication for the welfare of students. He has given his outstanding contribution in the field of education for more than 38 years. Teaching students is the most pleasurable job for him. He is not only a guide and mentor, he is staunch ally of all the students. I request you, sir, to please come forward and speak a few words of guidance.
Justice Sri M.L. Tailyani, Honorable Chairman of today's function, Dr. Mahesh Yangi, Honorable Justice Sri K.J. Rohi, retired, Honorable Justice Sri Dongaonkar, retired Justice, all my teachers, friends, all the invited teams, the participant teams, and the students. Today we are celebrating this valedictory function after a successful completion of the 9th Moot Court competition conducted by G.H. Rai Soni Law School. Our students have excelled in conducting it, in working for it day in and day out. Not only that, but all the teams who have arrived and all the teams who have participated, they have cooperated excellently. The quality of the mooting was par excellent. There are no words. Every year, the teams which are participating are enhancing their skill and quality, and that is worthwhile to praise. I am really happy on this occasion to call it a day. At the outset, I welcome Honorable Justice Tailyani heartily. I welcome our Chairman Mahesh Kumar Yangi. I welcome Justice Rohi and Justice Dongaonkar. Today is a day where we got the galaxy of the celebrities. It's very difficult to get so many jurists on the same dais. It was a desire of all our students that, sir, it's a request that we must get all these people. And accordingly, all these judges have complied the wish of our students. I thank them on this occasion, and again I welcome them for their grand support they have advocated to this cause of the students, and on this occasion I welcome each and everybody. Thank you, thank you.
For your valuable words, your words keep us motivated.
Moving ahead towards the chief guest of our today's function and doyen of legal profession, Honorable Shri Justice Madan Lal Lakshman Das Tehran. Born in year 1953 at Sardar Shahar of Churu district in Rajasthan, the able guidance of senior advocate Shri Dada Deshkar. Your Lordship was appointed as an assistant public prosecutor at Gadchiroli in year 1979 and served for more than 7 years at various places like Gadchiroli, Sironcha, Desaiganj and Vadodara. It is because of Your Lordship's consistent hard work and legal acumen that Your Lordship was appointed as a Metropolitan Magistrate of Mumbai in year 1987 and Additional Chief Metropolitan Magistrate of Mumbai in year 1994. Your Lordship was further promoted as the Chief Metropolitan Magistrate of Mumbai in year 1997. The story of your successful career further continues when Your Lordship was appointed as Judge of Bombay City Civil Court in year 1970 and further elevated as first Additional Principal Judge in year 2009. Further elevated as High Court Judge at Bombay High Court and making a remarkable contribution in legal field. Various landmark judgments owe their origin from Your Lordship's pen. One of its best example is your decision given in the case of Kasab 2611 terror attacks. Your Lordship's judgments are not only accurate and perfect, your way of conducting trial and delivering speedy justice becomes a lesson to be learned for others. While upholding your decision in the case of Kasab, even the Honorable Supreme Court of India could not refrain itself from commending your hard work. And it also opined that the way in Your Lordship has conducted the trial and maintained the record is exemplary. The Honorable Supreme Court also recommended that the case should be included in the curriculum of National Judicial Authority and the authorities of different states as a model for criminal trial proceedings. Honorable Supreme Court also praised Your Lordship by awarding adjectives like a no-nonsense person and a true flag bearer of rule of law in this country. Apart from that, Your Lordship was also associated with Rotary Club at Mumbai for many years, thus being a front runner in social services also. Considering a love and passion for nature, a daily English newspaper also referred Your Lordship as a green judge. There is perhaps no doubt that Your Lordship has proved a mettle in the field of law and will always be a role model for various aspiring lawyers and judges. Your Lordship, it is a rare and a great opportunity to have you us with today. ना पूछो मेरी मंजिल कहाँ है, अभी तो सफर का इरादा किया है, ना हारूंगा हौसला उम्र भर, यह मैंने किसी और से नहीं खुद से वादा किया है. Hearing your aspiring words will be of great benefit for all of us present here. May I request Your Lordship, Honorable Shri Justice M.L. Tahilani, to please come forward and address the gathering.
Honorable Justice Dongawkar, Pro Vice Chancellor Mr. Rengi, Principal of this college Mr. Aparajit, dear students. In the first place, I am very much thankful to this college and organizers of this function, Moot Court, to invite me as one of the judges of ninth National Moot Court competition. I am also thankful to the organizers and the college authorities for inviting me to be the chief guest at this valedictory function. It is really a privilege for me to have company of Justice Roy and Justice Dongawkar on this dais today. I didn't know that both of them are coming till my arrival in the college. I am associated with both of them since long, and particularly Justice Dongawkar. I must share with you that Justice Dongawkar was the judicial magistrate first class at Gondia when I started my practice. And my first bail application was before Justice Dongawkar, a very tiny courtroom where there was no separate chamber, a small chamber. He used to sit in the chamber. And I presented my bail application handwritten. Those days, you see, the computers were not there. Typewriter itself was a rare thing for a junior lawyer. So instead of spending 10 rupees on typing, I wrote the application in my own handwriting, and thereby I saved another 10 rupees Otherwise, I would have been spending rupees 10 or 15 on typing. So the application was placed before Justice Dongaonkar, and Justice Dongaonkar has said to Mr. You will become a judge. And his prophecy has come true. I am a judge since last more than 26 years in various capacities. So, you know what Justice Dongaonkar means? I always explain this to Justice Dongaonkar. And Justice Roy I was not knowing very much, but when I came here, I was not very much inclined to stay in a Bangalore. So I was searching for a small flat where me and my wife could stay. So in such a flat we reached building up Justice Roy, and there one flat was vacant. And we selected it. And we finalized, and we were very happy that we will be staying in this flat, and within a few days we will have a permanent accommodation. Instead of staying in Ravi Road, we will come to this. The rent was quoted too high. Justice Roy said it could be 15,000, he quoted 35,000. So we refused, and ultimately I am in Bangalore now. And I am thankful to God that he quoted 35 and I refused. I would not have enjoyed the life of Bangalore of a High Court judge had I stayed in that flat. So these minor, small things happen in your life, and they bring people together. And since then, you see, this was a very small incident. We sat at the house of Justice Roy for a few minutes. We had a cup of tea. But these things matter in life, and we remember forever these things. So coming back to today's function, I am thankful to all of you for inviting me and finding me to be a fit person to address you on this valedictory function. Before this valedictory function, I had sided over the bench which judged the final round of competition. And I, on behalf of me and on behalf of both my brothers on the bench, must tell you that it was a very difficult task for us to judge the boys and girls, the way they were addressing, the way they were prepared on facts and law, and the courage with which they addressed the court. It was really admirable, and in fact the advocates addressing us might be under the impression that they are in difficult situation, but let me tell you that in fact we were in difficult situation as to what to do and how to give the marks. For me, the marks which I have given, I cannot tell you, but it was neck to neck fights, and winning and losing is not important in this moot court, because success is never final and failure is never fatal. What is important is courage. This is competition. We call it competition because we give it to some kind of thrill or glitter. We make the function glittering by making it competition. Actually, it is not a competition, it is a participation. This competition, moot court competition, is not meant to make you to compete with other students. This is meant for your participation and to teach you how the courts actually function. And you should gather courage to address the court when you get out of the law college after taking your degree. Therefore, though we call it competition, but basically it is not competition, it is participation of the students in a learning. It is a part of your learning. Therefore, if a particular team is adjudged as best or the other team is adjudged as second, I think it should not be taken too seriously. What is to be taken seriously is your participation in today's competition or participation in today's participatory act. That is very important. And as I told you, the very, very final aspects of law of patent, procedure, and very, very final aspects of the drug which was subject matter of the dispute today were studied by the students. Really, I was thrilled by the way they were prepared and they were addressing the court. Actually, I must compliment all the participants who addressed the court today, irrespective of the result. I must compliment them for their hard work, and I hope that they will continue to work so hard in their future life also. Dear students, on this last event of the function which is going on since the evening of day before yesterday, I am called upon to address you, and I really feel, what can I tell you at this moment when you are neither a lawyer nor a new student. You are, I think you belong to which fifth year or fourth year? These competitors? Fourth year. So you are about to become a lawyer, and you are about to enter the profession. You are at present in the field of education, and after a few years you will be in the field of profession. But this profession is such that education never stops. Even if you enter the profession, you remain in the field of education, because every day is learning in this profession. But the education, if I take education, legal education, today's legal education has changed to a large extent as compared to the traditional way of legal education. I remember my days, and those who are sitting on the dais also remembering the days. Even we had not seen this type of chair in our college. Our principal even did not have such a beautiful chair. So you can imagine the conditions in which we had studied our commerce or law, and today it is good. I don't criticize it. It is good. It has changed, and it has changed the perspective of the students also. Their level of intellectual has gone too high. I would say that some of the students, their intellectual level is more than our intellectual level. Our intellectual level is because of our experience. Their intellectual level is because of their hard work, learning, studying, reading, and working on internet, working in various other fields. At very small age, within a very short span, their way of thinking, you see, is so they have got such a big vision that I can compare their vision with the vision of a senior judge. We have acquired this vision at this age after a very long experience, after very long service in as judge or prosecutor or lawyer. But you people at very young age has acquired a very I would say a visionary mind, and that will help you in your life definitely. The legal education, as I told you, traditionally was 3 years degree course. Just to finish your graduation, if you don't get admission anywhere, you are put in law faculty. If you get admission in MBBS engineering, it's okay. Nagpur, I tell you this, Mr. Aparajit and others will agree with me. There was one engineering college and one medical college. Lakshmi Narayan Institute of and one medical college, government medical college. So if you don't get admission in medical college after BSc Part 1, you will go to engineering college. If you don't get engineering college, you will do your BSc or BCom or BA, whatever you are doing, and then you will ultimately, if you want to study, you will be put to law college. And after doing law, you will go to your village and you will be practicing at the place whichever nearer to your native place, wherever the court is available. If I am from Mool, I will practice at Chandrapur. If I am from Baroda, I will practice at Baroda because Baroda court is there. I will not think beyond Baroda. I will get up at my regular time, I will wear my black coat, and then I will go to court, sit in the bar room. The whole thing has changed. The courtroom scenario has changed. Earlier advocates used to sit in the bar room and the peon used to call them कि advocate Aparajit हाजिर हो. There used to be a big call. उसको पुकारा कहते थे, पुकारा होता था. After पुकारा, senior advocate will get up. अरे काय डोंगरगावकर साहेबांनी बोलवलं का काय झालं, चला जाऊ बघूया. And slowly he will go. काय झालं रे, काय लागली का केस? तोपर्यंत डोणगावकर साहेब केस बाजूला ठेवून देतात. So this was the scenario. Today the scenario has changed. All lawyers are sitting in a court. Everybody, there are indicators. Indicators indicates that in my court, case number 5 is going on. In Justice Dodgaokar's court, case number 9 is going on. In Justice Rohit's court, case number 11 is going on. Your case number is 13 in Justice Rohit's court, and you are 5 in my court. You are anxiously waiting for your number. This, you see, enthusiasm, this I would say strength I have seen in today's lawyers. This is really admirable. Those days have gone. Things have changed, and the way of thinking, the way of looking at legal profession itself has changed. As I told you, कि कहीं नहीं हुआ तो डाल दो law में, that position has gone. Now students come from different states. People, the students in Maharashtra taking legal education in 5 years degree course, they are not all from Maharashtra or from Nagpur. They are from various places from all over the country. So this is changed. Similarly, the profession has changed. Legal education has changed. You have got laptops, you have got computer labs, you have got excellent laboratory, you have got excellent regular teaching faculty, which was not there. In our days, there was one regular teacher and all other part-time teaching faculties. I don't criticize part-time teaching faculty, but regular teacher is a regular teacher and part-time teaching faculty is a part-time teaching faculty. That in the changing scenario, the courage, strength, and the what we call it, जिद जिसको कहते हैं हिंदी में, in the students is really admirable. And I had got to Indore. I saw the Indore Institute of Law is situated far away from Indore town. Still the male and female students come to Indore, they go to that institute, they take education, they go back. The hostel facility is there. And thankfully the way of thinking by the parents has also changed. 20 years back, no parent will allow his daughter to go to Nagpur even from Chandrapur and stay in hostel and take law education. Now parents allow their female children to go thousands of miles away and take education, whether it is within country or outside the country. So in this changing scenario, you have come up, and you are very fortunate that you have taken legal education in this particular type of setup. And I don't say that we were not unfortunate. We were unfortunate. I will not say we were also fortunate. The scene has changed. The litigation has changed. Now if you come to the profession, the litigation has changed. Earlier the litigation scenario was also like that. If you go to court, you will find a criminal case and civil case. If you go to small village, you will find a small criminal case of theft, housebreaking. दारू थोड़ा सा पकड़ा गया, like this. If you go to big city, you will find a dispute between big families, partition suits, suits between brothers, and suits between neighbors regarding boundary walls. These type of suits were there. So this was the limited, you see, scene of the litigation in villages, and even in High Court also you will find a limited. About 25 years back, there were no public interest litigations in High Court. About 25 years ago, Gulchikud Dam was not being argued in High Court. About 25 years ago, roads of Nagpur were not subject matter of dispute before the High Court in public interest litigation. The situation had changed. Now if you go to villages, even towns, the civil litigation has also changed. The traditional civil litigation between brothers, neighbors has changed. Now developers have come, builders have come, new laws have come. There are relations between builders and purchasers. There are relations between builders and developers. There are relations between builders, developers and purchasers. Tripartite agreements are there. So this was not available. Company Act, see, company law. There were traditional companies, 2-3 big companies, then few small companies. Now how many public limited companies are there? And see the condition of stock market. And how much litigation is generated by the stock market. How much litigation is generated by the purchase and sale of shares. So the whole scenario of litigation has changed. There is a now in Nagpur multi-story building housing society. This concept has come since last 20-25 years. With this changing concepts in your living style, changing concepts in your business, changing concept in the commerce, you will get more litigation. Arbitration has become international.